Picture this. You are handling one of the most beloved IPs in fiction, and you make the video game equivalent of dehydrated piss. I don't like Sonic Forces. It's just so poor. It's too safe, it's too linear, and it's just tonally confusing. 1 minute, Sonic is beaten the down. Nice. Said to have been tortured in Eggman's clutches. And then the next minute, he's just seen straight chilling on the death egg. Like, I didn't know he was chill like that. What the hell? Nice. And not to mention, classic Sonic is just crammed in there like an elephant in a tin can. Not only is his inclusion just oh so unnecessary, but it's also contaminating the best 2D Sonic game with its connection to the Phantom Ruby. But the soundtrack kinda slaps. So imagine my face when Sonic Frontiers is finally revealed after 5 years. And we're met with... What the hell? Oh my god, no way! Needless to say, I did not have any faith in this title. However, as I'm filming this in October of 2022, just before the game's release, I can confidently say that I think this video game is going to be pretty stellar. So, how did we get here? Hey, what's going on everyone? My name is Sefwhiter, and I'd like to discuss the comeback of Sonic Frontiers. And before you do the background checks, yes, I am a real Sonic fan. I own the Coca-Cola hat. But in all seriousness, I'd like to discuss this game's past, future, and present. So, let's start with the past. June 1st rolls around at the speed of sound, and IGN, in their promise to deliver Sonic Frontiers coverage all month long, reveals this. Yeah, it wasn't great. The world looked barren with no UI. Sonic moved at a moderately quick pace, but I wouldn't consider it fast. The game ran at 30 frames a second on what looked to be pretty capable hardware. And oh my god, the pop-in. The pop-in still hasn't been fixed. And worst of all, the audience was not provided any context into what Sonic was doing in that world, or what his goals were within the video. He looked as if he was plonked into an open world bog standard Unity project that he'd submit for homework. And need I remind you, this is what they showed after 5 f***ing years.
Vega posted gameplay footage from the upcoming Sonic Frontiers game, and my lord did it look abominable.
This is not good.
So, Twitter, the home of the hallmark tweets Nicki Minaj as Among Us characters, does what it does best. Blows up into a frenzy, considering this game to be the next Sonic Boom.
Dude, this means like 5 years old.
And whilst that might be a tad hyperbole, I can't really blame them. Now, this video was followed up by a combat showcase, which was received fairly similarly. The main criticism this time around was the enemy designs and the fact that they were unorthodox and not reminiscent of Sonic's past enemy design, as well as combat animations that just looked clunky and unfinished. And all of this was led without context, and context is incredibly important when showcasing a piece of media. As previously mentioned, without context, we don't know why Sonic is here, and we don't know why the enemies look the way they do. Also, we just don't know why there are these ugly rails filling the sky and land. Only later on down the line would we come to understand these choices. And now, at the end of the month, we were given 2 final pieces of Sonic Frontiers coverage. One from IGN, and the other from Nintendo. The piece of IGN coverage was an interview. It was an interview with Takashi Iizuka, the current head of Sonic Team. And now, unfortunately, the biggest takeaway from this was not about Sonic Frontiers, but was rather the prospect of an Adventure 3. Yeah, well done showing Sonic Frontiers. However, Nintendo on the other hand, released this.
You didn't have to cut me off. That we were nothing. I don't even need your love, but you treat me like a stranger, and I feel so loved.
Now that is what you call a trailer. Okay, sure, we're not given as much story, but now we have more explained to us, and this is the first showcase of the cyberspace levels. However, sprinkled in between these events was a little cretin called Summer Games Fest, in which the public, and therefore Sonic fans, got glimpses at the game. And now I say glimpses because the game wasn't actually allowed to be filmed, for whatever reason. And let me tell you, this sent an already crazy fan base into insanity. I mean, people were literally analysing pixels of this game, trying to decipher whether this shot was Sky Sanctuary or some other level theme. I mean, for crying out loud, people were trying to decipher whether this shot, they were analysing pixels once again, to try and decipher whether Sonic was crying in this shot. Needless to say, we were starving. However, there is a silver lining to all of this, in that the people that actually played the demo really enjoyed it. Coverage of this game went from people thinking this game was so-so to actually pretty good. And as you'll find, that is a common theme with this game. It plays better than it looks. Right, now I'm fast forwarding a little bit into the future here. Come August, and now we have our proper story trailer. Kind of. Gamescom 2022 promised us the trailer for Sonic Frontiers, and a trailer is what we got. Overall, I'd say this trailer did a lot of good for not only the community, but also the general consensus of the game. Packed within this trailer, we got a new look at Ares Island, or Ares? The sound one. We also got a better look into some new story elements, such as Sonic's friends being captured, and also the knowledge of 3 more islands. Given to us as well was some new CGI cutscenes which contextualized everything, and overall the package was starting to seem a lot more well put together. The game seemed quite polished as well. It felt like a far cry from what we were shown in June. We were now at the point where public opinion of this game started to shift. People once thought that this game was going to be a Sonic game that disappointed, like what came before. But now there was a new hope. The Sonic cycle seemed to have been broken. Maybe. Around this time, Sonic Frontiers was also let loose for the public to be filmed, and the more people that played it, the more positive buzz there was surrounding this game. I mean, even the likes of Super Smash Bros. Director Masahiro Sakurai approves of the game. It has to be good, right? However, there was a slight spanner in the works for this game this month. Due to the fact that the game could also be filmed, that means more people saw the cyberspace levels, and the more cyberspace content that got released, the more people realised this is where the game's budget has been skipped out on. Because as it turns out, there are only 4 level aesthetics, and these are being Green Hill Zone, Chemical Plant, Sky Sanctuary, and City. Just to make matters worse, it seems that even the level designs have been recycled from other games. Yeah, it's not a great look. However, fans were able to look past this and see that the main bulk of the game still retained to be really good. And so, Sonic Frontiers is a mere week away from launch, but as you're watching this, the game could be out. So, how is it? Is it good? But as of right now, game outlets are really enjoying this. In the month of October, where this is being filmed, more and more previews have been released. And with these previews, more gameplay has been released, and we've been able to see the 3rd island, which also looks fantastic. So that's where we're at currently. The game looks great. Let's look forward for a moment. Where is this game going to steer the franchise? With Sonic Frontiers looking to be a well-received Sonic game, and Sonic killing it in Hollywood and the comics industry, it looks to be that Sonic is having a bit of a redemption. Going forward, this game looks to be steering the franchise into a more action-oriented playstyle. However, speed is still the core element of these games. It's actually really promising, and I can't wait to see where Sonic Team takes this. Anywho, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, because this tells me that you want more Sonic content, and it would mean a hell of a lot to me. Alright, bye for now.